I would like to start this with a prediction. Okay, now just consider the same work that we are doing. If we will look at the same work after 5 years or 10 years, is it going to be the same the way we are doing it right now? Certainly not, isn't it? Why this change is happening and why this change is going to be uh, even more significant in future, why this is going to be, is it like people are becoming less capable? No, it is because the machines are becoming more smarter, the machines are becoming more intelligent, right? Now, according to one report of PwC, artificial intelligence is going to have the potential to contribute around 15.7 trillion to the global economy, 15.7 trillion USD in the global economy by 2030. And if we look at the impact it is going to have over the jobs, as per the World Economic Forum, around 170 million new jobs will be created by the technological transformations which are happening in next 5 years, by the way. And around 92 million existing jobs are going to be displaced. So should we be worried about it? Should we be scared about it? No, we have to accept this fact that AI is actually reshaping everything. It is actually redefining the work, the way the work is being done, and the way the jobs are going to be done in future. Right? It has actually changed everything. It has changed how people think, how they decide, how they innovate, how they communicate. It is changing everything. So now the question here is that what is going to decide that which type of leaders are going to survive and flourish in future? Now we know that the knowledge has become a commodity, right? So for that, we need to see that what exactly are going to decide that what leadership is going to be in future. Now for that, I just want to look at the past. Wherever there has been revolutions, any kind of revolution, whether it was industrial revolution or technological, the age of internet, the introduction of internet, the introduction of digitization, with every revolution, businesses, they have developed a better way of working. The business have actually business were actually benefited, and the leaders, they have become more efficient. So with industrial revolution, with the age of machines, with the introduction of machines, efficiency has increased, productivity has increased. With internet, the speed has increased. With digitization, analytics, and the expertise of managing information has increased. Now, this time, this particular revolution or this particular age of AI is giving a bigger challenge to people, right? Because it actually wants people, it is actually pushing people and leaders to practice something which is unique to humans, and that is what humanity is, right? So let's have a look and let's try to explore that what are going to be the competencies, what are going to be the skills which are future oriented and which future leaders have to practice. Now, one very prominent question which is buzzing around in social media is that, is AI going to replace people? Is AI going to replace leaders? Now, that depends on how we are defining leadership, right? How we are defining leadership. If leadership is about processing reports, right? Approving routine tasks, processing information, gathering information, then yes, AI is going to replace you in near future, because AI is already doing all these things. AI can generate reports, AI can evaluate financial statements, it can generate software codings, it can interview people, it can sort out the CVs, and it is actually doing all these work. So if leadership is about these, yes, AI is going to replace. But remember, leadership is not about information, rather leadership is about transformation. Machines can be intelligent, they can increase efficiency, but people have the potential to transform others. So humans have the potential to transform others. So that's where humans become very, very distinguished and indispensable, even in the age of AI. Now just imagine the workplace, how it looked like 10 years ago or 5 years ago. It was like people were sitting with people, and you were having individuals, you were having humans, you were sitting like in a workplace where you were working with people. But right now, are you working with people only? No, we are working with very smart, very intelligent digital co-workers, right? So you have, sitting next to you is a chatbot which is interacting with customers, it is interacting with people, it is interacting with employees and giving answers to their questions. Right? So the future leaders are those who don't see the AI as a challenge. They don't see the technology as a competitor. They don't have to compete. Humans don't have to compete with the technology, but the leaders who are able to understand that they both are complementary to each other. So AI is complementary to people. AI is complementary to humans, and together this collaboration is going to define the next age of organizations and their growth. So the future leaders are those who understand that they have to work on this collaboration and not about like what can be replaced, what cannot be replaced, something like that. Okay, so quickly let me take you certain skills, certain shifts which are happened and which are going to be very prominent and very significant in future also. So the first shift is from the knowledge to judgment. Okay, because we know that knowledge is abundant right now. Anyone can generate quality knowledge and quality information just by a single prompt and a single click, right? So what is going to distinguish, what is going to define the leadership in future is how you are using, how wisely you are interpreting and using that information for your team, for your business, for your own growth, and for the growth of people around you. So it is the shift from knowledge to the judgment and wisdom, basically, which is going to be the future. It is the shift from supervising to coaching. People right nowadays, they don't want to know that what can I do in my work. They want to know, they want a leader who can lead them, that how can I grow further in my career, right? How I can grow further in next 5 years. What do I need to do? Because right now there are so many AI tools in the market. It is flooded with AI tools and technology that people are confused. They are directionless. They don't know what they should do, right? So they want a leader who can lead them, who can guide them, how they can grow in their future, in their career. And for that, it is very important that, first of all, leaders have to keep themselves updated, right? So upskilling, keep upskilling yourself. It is very important. You need to reinvent yourself because the half-life of knowledge is shrinking. So if with one degree, if with one set of knowledge and competencies, if you could have survived earlier for 10 years, now maybe in 1 year that complete competencies and knowledge might become obsolete. So you have to keep upskilling yourself. You have to keep reinventing yourself and keeping yourself abreast with what is happening around. Next, very important shift is from the hierarchy to the collaboration. And this platform is a very good example of that, right? Right now, we are having people who are sitting in different parts of the world and talking together as good as like we are sitting face to face and talking in our in-person and face-to-face meeting, right? Now, this is the beauty of collaboration, which is happening in the corporates, because we have teams which is multicultural, sitting in different time zones, having different coming from different cultures, different backgrounds, different value system. So a true leader, a future leader, needs to understand that how to collaborate a team which is having so much of versatility, so much of differences, but how to keep that united, right? So the shift has to be from the hierarchical system towards more of collaboration, and that too, not only people from different backgrounds, but how to collaborate people, such multicultural team along with the AI. Next shift is from efficiency to innovation. So with technology, we can see that how efficient the systems have become. Earlier, what people used to do in, for example, in 8 hours, AI can do in seconds, right? It can scan a lot of like 100 CVs in 5 minutes. Okay, so efficiency, there is no doubt with AI, with machines, with technology, efficiency is shooting up and it's going to increase in future as well. So what differentiates leader is how well they are able to use that, how well they are able to innovate, how creative they are. So the shift has to be from efficiency towards creativity for future leadership. And that's what is going to add value to yourself, to your team, and to the organizations also. You have to be very, very agile. Now, today, the people we have heard, as a consultant, I have heard many a times from the management, from the top management, that, why should we change? We have been doing it for so many years and we are able to survive as of now, till now. So we can continue doing that. Okay, we have developed our own processes and we have been doing it like this for so long. Now, such type of mindset, now such type of, you can say, orientation is not going to work, because you have to change. If you will not change, then you will be lag behind. Okay, people have to focus more. As I said, that this artificial intelligence is pushing people towards more important thing, that try to be more human. Okay, so people have to focus, leaders have to focus on concepts like emotional intelligence. They have to work on listening, they have to work on motivating people, transforming people, recognizing people, and moreover creating a culture of psychological safety where people feel like coming to the work and they feel confident working with AI, not to be scared that every single day, not to be scared that this AI is going to replace me in near future. Next important thing is the ethics in decision making. So AI definitely can evaluate, analyze the information and everything and give you the solutions. But it is the responsibility of leaders to make sure that ethics are being followed, because you are the one who understand the ethic and ethical code of conduct of your organization, of your culture, of your country, right? Of your community and society. So leaders have a bigger responsibility to ensure that AI is being used ethically for any of the purposes and any of the business processes. And systems thinking is something which makes human very, very, very indispensable, that people they are carrying the experience, they are able to see and look at the same problem from different perspectives, from geopolitical perspective, from economic perspective, from cultural perspective, from value perspective, from feasibility perspective, from the perspective that whether this decision is going to be accepted by my top leaders or not, because they understand human, they understand the system, they understand the people, right? So the systems thinking is where we as a future leader we need to focus upon. Next is communication, because AI can give you results. AI doesn't know how to communicate with different individuals. If, as a leader, as a manager, if you have 10 people in your team, then maybe you need to work on, or you need to adopt 10 different ways of communicating the same information to those different individuals. Everyone has a different temperament, everyone has a different way of processing the information. Okay, so this is something which a human can understand, this is something a leader can understand, that how to communicate. And especially with so much of confusion around, so much of uncertainty around, people they want to have a leader who can give them clarity and who can communicate the vision, right? AI can communicate, can generate information, but the leaders, they generate vision, they create vision and purpose too. So if we say that what AI can do, for example, data analysis, leader can do the judgment. AI can do optimizations, leader have to ensure the ethics. AI can work on logic, leaders have to work on trust, they have to work on commitment. One very important thing we need to understand is that people, they work for people. People don't work for organizations. People don't work for systems. People don't work for machines, right? People are not working for reports. People, they work for people. So that's why leaders are very important, because your team is working for you, and for that, for everything, they will be look at you, and they will be waiting, and they will be looking forward for your guidance. Now, to everyone out here, I just want you to have one reflection. Once you leave this virtual room later on, just try to think about it. If I ask you after 10 years, what kind of leader you want to, if you look back, okay, how you have processed these 10 years, how you have survived during these 10 years, last 10 years, what exactly you want to sound like, what exactly you want to look like, what exactly you want people to see you, right? That how you have enabled your workforce, your team, how you have helped them to be more confident, more productive, and more progressive with the introduction of AI and with the use of AI. So as a leader, we should not be focusing upon that how I can replace this work, how I can replace jobs, how I can replace work. No, try to focus upon how I can replace the routine jobs of a particular, or routine work or routine task of a particular job, so that my people have extra time and additional time to do something more meaningful. How can I automate the process so that my people have more time for coaching and for the development of others. So please remember, as a leader, we have to pledge and we have to practice that AI introduction is not about eliminating jobs, but it is about elevating people. So we have to work for this transition from elimination to elevation. We need to elevate people. Today, every organization is trying to bring AI here and there in each and every processes, right? Now, but if you look at it, is there everywhere. It is there in sales, it is there in customer service and production and logistics and supply chain and manufacturing and legal, healthcare, HR, everywhere. But if we look deeply, AI is not replacing one entire function. It is just replacing some parts of the job or some parts of the roles. Why it is doing so? So that people, they have more time on investing something meaningful. So for example, if AI is taking care of sorting out or filtering the CVs, so that the HR professionals, they have more time for developing the talent. And moreover, human intervention will always be important, right? But we need to see that where exactly human need to intervene. For example, in interviews, sometimes it happens that the candidate seems very, very perfect, completely outstanding in terms of experience, in terms of knowledge, in terms of degrees, but still with the communication, with the interaction during the conversation, we feel like something is off here, right? I'm not getting the vibes I'm looking for the manager in the manager, right? Something is off, and this person is not going to. Everything is perfect, but still this person is not seems to be a perfect fit, right? Now this can be done. This can be done. It can be possible only with human intervention. Okay, because humans and leaders, they bring together a lot of things. They are bringing together experience, their gut feeling, right? The art of understanding and reading the expressions of others. Okay, the connection that establishes with a smile is much more stronger than the connections which are established with the clicks. Okay, humans, they can read body language. So there are so many things we have to focus upon. There are so many things we have to focus in future leaderships, and we need to understand that leaders in future are those who are going to collaborate and who are going to believe that yes, AI is about AI and humans, they are going to complement each other. So with the machines, with the technology becoming more intelligent, leaders of tomorrow, they have to make sure that their teams and their organizations are becoming more and more wiser. So it is the shift that future leaders have to take from the technology, from present organization to making the organizations more wiser. So remember, future starts with us. Future begin with us as leaders, as humans, and it is like the clarity we need to have as leaders so that we can steer and we can take our workforce, our employees, and our followers together without being scared of AI. To not to compete with AI, but to collaborate with it, use it as a tool to increase the efficiency, and be very careful about if the efficiency is increasing, then you have to focus more on creativity, innovation, human side, emotional intelligence, ethics, and leading people, communicating with them, and giving them purpose. So if you look at, what the definition of the leadership, or what is the equation of leadership is going to look like in future, it will be leadership will be equal to human intelligence plus artificial intelligence plus emotional intelligence plus ethical intelligence. So this is the equation we have to believe in as leaders, and this is the equation we have to work upon as leaders.